civilians, or planning an attack. Probably better to push them back into their own territory before they secure an outpost this close to civilians. We need you to secure the memorial and remove the True Sons' forces. If they maintain this outpost, the True Sons will be a direct threat to the campus.
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate between you. It looks closed from here.
Agent, you'll need to find a way to open that gate.
Whoa! Movement! Check it out. Great spot for a turret.
All clear. I repeat, the compound is all clear.
No, that can't be all.
Hey, what is up, guys? My name is Antrax, and today I bring you my armor and kill build. Now, as you can see, I'm rocking 5 blues, only 1 red, and the reason why I'm doing this is because this perfect combination: Bloodsucker, Intimidate, and the Chameleon. Guys, this build is insane. Let me show you my damage feed. Now, that was with the shotgun. I don't have a perfect shotgun, but I wanted you to see how the shotgun performs. Now, if we go into my Chameleon, look at the DPS. 700k crits, 578 crits, 592, 478, 515. Now you get the point. With 5 blues and only 1 red, I have a lot of DPS. Now the reason, or the way that I get this DPS, is because of Bloodsucker and Intimidate. So whenever I kill an NPC, I get blue armor. That procs Intimidate. So with all this armor, I can play like really aggressive. Now when I get the blue armor or Bloodsucker, I get an additional 35% weapon damage. That's basically almost 3 reds, because you get 15 per gear set. So I get Intimidate proc. With the Chameleon, whenever I hit 75 body shots, I get an additional 90%. That's 125% weapon damage that I can almost keep active if I'm quick enough, because whenever you're not in combat, all the buff from the Chameleon will reset back to full. So the first buff that I try to proc is the reload speed. The quicker you reload, the more bullets you shoot, the more damage you do. So you want to have reload speed. Then I go for the body shots or the headshot damage. Now let me show you my stats real quick. you want to keep it at 40% crit chance, otherwise you're wasting crit chance. You want to spec into crit damage, so I'm at 148. Now with the chameleon, when you do the 30 headshots, you get 20% crit chance. That puts me at the cap at 60, and an additional 50% crit damage. We're talking about almost 200% crit damage just on the weapon itself. Now, I don't know if you saw my last video, but I made a few changes. I used to have a Badger Tough mask and the named death grips, the 511, that gives me an additional 5% armor on kill. I decided not to go for that and include the exotic mask. So since I'm playing like really close and personal, I can always proc the 25% crit damage. So I'm way over 200%. Now you want to have 3 by your top for the shotgun damage, the total armor, and 10% armor on kill. With the 2 system corruption, you get an additional 15% armor on kill. Now you can use a gunner. The gunner also gives me an additional 10% armor on kill, but I decided to go with the firewall because of the shield. The striker shield gives me an additional 13% weapon damage. So whenever I use a shield, you see that orange line, all the NPCs within that range, I get an additional weapon damage on them, or damage to them. So my secondary, I never use shotguns, so I deleted all my shotguns. I just recently bought this tsunami. You want to have the tsunami. The tsunami is extremely good. So 2 consecutive kills refills the magazine and gives me an additional 40% weapon damage. Now the base damage here is 601. Now if I go into my stats, the exotic mask is always red. I'm running a crit damage mod. This is the only piece that needs work here. My chest. Again, you want to have Intimidate and Bloodsucker always for this type of build. I have armor, crit damage. I have 1 weapon handling here. I don't need crit chance again. You want to keep it at 40. I'm using a crit damage mod. Now I'm using the named holster. It's called the ammo dump. I believe we all should have that blueprint. So what it does, it gives me an additional 10% ammo capacity, which is extremely good due to the RPM on the chameleon. It is 900. So you want to have the extra ammo. I'm rocking crit damage and weapon handling here. On my 2 corruption system, I have armor, crit damage, armor, and crit damage. And on my backpack, I have total armor, crit damage, headshot damage, and crit damage. Now again, I want to have weapon handling. If it was for me, I would have weapon handling. Look, only with 6.5 weapon handling, because I only have it here, the stock reload speed is 2.1. If I were to add more weapon handling, let me show you. I just added 7.5. It drops to 1.9 seconds. Now, if we go into my stats, whenever I kill an NPC, I get over 400k armor on kill. That's extremely good. Not only I get that additional armor and kill, but I also get the blue stacks. So it's like really impossible for you to die with this type of build. Now for my skills, I'm using the decoy and the striker shield. And this is it, guys. This is my armor and kill build. I hope you like it.